Hello and welcome back to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we are on the website of Amber Violins. This is an auction house based in the UK. Well, I say kind of auction house, they're kind of based online really, and these auctioneers are a little bit different to the others that we've looked at, as in they don't consign instruments from other people or other dealers. They simply buy instruments from people or collections and then they sell them themselves, so it kind of operates a little bit differently. um, Once again, this is pretty much similar to the other auctions in that you kind of start an account and you can read all of the info up here. There's a few kind of differences and we'll kind of have a look at that once we go into the auction. So if we kind of go into this auction and have a look, so this finishes actually on February the 9th, and it's been up for a few days already, and you can go ahead and start bidding if you want. So this is a smaller auction. I mean, this auction isn't usually that massive. There's a few of them a year, but there's 72 items in this. I think that's possibly about their usual. Maybe it's a little bit less than normal. So buyer's premiums 20%. That's pretty standard, so not too bad. So shipping charges, it's saying here they've increased, but still good. So look at the terms and stuff like that. One thing, because this is a smaller kind of auction, I find their website a little bit clunky in the fact that you have to kind of click on each item, then click out to go back to it, which is different to the kind of more pro auctions, shall we say. But one thing that it is a positive, I think, about this auction house is there are so many pictures of most items, and usually pretty good pictures in my opinion. Other people might have different opinions, but yeah, they're quite kind of quite good pictures. So I think let's have a quick look. So let's click on the first one. Might be a bit slow internet wise. So lot number one, a violin by Colin Mazan, 1950. So one thing about this is that the initial like starting bids are quite high, and it's always the same really for Amber Violins. Like sometimes some of them are a bit lower, but they always start off a bit high. I mean, like they're kind of realistic, but for me, I quite kind of enjoy the thrill a bit of kind of watching stuff kind of increase. But with these auctions, that kind of doesn't really happen. We won't look at this instrument in too much detail, but you'll see there's quite a lot of photos and it goes on really. But we'll look at one of the more interesting ones. So but anyway, you can see here that they give like length of back. You can click on the photos that are pretty good, and you get a kind of enlargement. And you can click on and get another window, shows kind of the bids and stuff like that. And yeah, it's all pretty standard really. So they don't have like an automatic switching thing to go to the next lot, which I think is really irritating. So I would definitely recommend that. Maybe it does on some other browsers, but not what I have. So we have to click back, unfortunately. So let's have a look at the next lot. So violin by C. Chevrier, Miracle 1860. Original varnish, has some discoloration. Once again, just for the sake of time, let's not get into that one too deeply. A lot of French and English kind of violins or instruments indeed in the Amber violins. So lot 3. Um, Violin English, early 19th century, Ferber School. As you know, I like these English instruments. You see a lot of Ferber school instruments kind of around, especially at the moment. So let's have a look here. Sound patch placed in the table, patch the outside of the back bass side, possibly a maker's repair. Length of back 354. So let's just look at the photos and just kind of see. So it's pretty good. You get like a good full screen. You can also zoom in like quite far and see. So yeah, some pretty good photos there. I mean, really, for an auction house, I don't think I've ever seen uh, so many kind of photos of an instrument, and like most of the instruments, not all of them, but have like this kind of level of photographs, which I find, I think it's really, really good. So I think hours of fun there. You get close-ups of the purfling and all the corners. I think that's really, really good. And then back to the beginning. So there you go. That's a interesting instrument, as we like to say. Going on to number 4, Violin by Leon Mugino, Miracourt 1923. So we won't look into that too much. One crack in the table to the right of the bridge. Let's just quickly have a look at that. Yeah, well, I'd say that's pretty obvious there. So that's a bit of a repair needed. Lot 5, a violin circa 1860, starting with 200, so no one's bid on this so far. Repaired cracks in table including sound posts, back 356. Let's have a look at this a bit. This I find a little bit curious. Obviously it has a lot of repairs, so it's probably all in need of a lot of repairs, so that might put a lot of people off. But I think it has some charm. I quite like the colour of the varnish on that, but I'm probably the only person. Yeah, I find that kind of not too bad. It's interesting. Let's have a look what the scroll has. Let's see. Yeah, I think it has some charm for sure. Some kind of signature there. So let's go back and let's have a look at lot number 6. Violin by Amédée Dudon. So there you go, we're all kind of French violins today, made for Charles Enel. Let's not get too into that. Violin by Hurst, Rugby, 1887. Wow, that's quite a striking back. One repaired crack in table to right of bridge, F hole to lower table. I have to say that's a very pretty figuring. I like the varnish colour as well, actually. I think that's quite a nice instrument. For me, anyway, like I say, I've my taste and my knowledge is not up to par with other people, but I find that interesting. Let's just skip to the scrolls and not go too crazy. Yeah. I think that's quite pleasant, but they're starting bid 1200 straight away. So, but I mean, it does, yeah, it looks nice. I don't know much about that maker or anything even. So a violin probably by Lamy, 1925, another French violin. It's not that I have anything against French violins, but these are quite common. Neunen Hornsteiner School, 1900. Once again, nothing too exciting there. Scuffs to table edges. 10, the Calcin Workshop that we see quite a lot. One repair crack in lower rib, otherwise good condition. It's quite an interesting back there. Let's just quickly have a look at the scroll. It's peg bushings. Yeah, it's quite curious. So I'm not sure if you can get more information from Amber Violins in terms of an overview of the condition, like a condition report, other than what's here. But usually it's not many crazy basket case stuff, but it might be worth asking them if they have more stuff. Violin by Paul Margenot, Atelier, Miracourt, 1932. Yep, I think that's doesn't need any further explanation. Violin French, late 18th, early 19th. So obviously this is a part because it's held together with what seems to be rubber bands. A French violin, late 18th, 19th century. In need of some work. A brand of the back below the button. Table detached. No major cracks, other damage. Small old worm repair. Treble C rib. Bid 1700, 700 even. I'm going mad. Let's have a quick look. See what we can spot here. That looks pleasant enough. Let's quickly look back at that. Yeah, oh, it looks interesting, as we say. Now I've lost track now, so this is a problem with this one. Number 13, Miracourt, 1900. Yep, I think we don't need to go into that one. 14. Violin, Atelier of Jules Grandjean, Miracle 1890. Another one that I think that we don't need to go into depth on. Mittenwald, 19th century. Let's have a look. Starting mid 800s. German violin, probably Mittenwald, 19th century. Small wind cracking table, otherwise good condition. It's quite nice figure there. Let's just skip to the pictures. Let's just have a look at the. Let's see. Have a look at the scroll. Yeah, it's quite odd kind of. Looks kind of fake wear there. A few cracks there on the wing, but nevertheless interesting. And then we are here. Violin by Charles Semutra, c. 1860. I wonder if they just buy lots and lots of violins from France, or they just have someone that just collects for them, because there's just so many French violins here. French violin by Charles Semutra, circa 1860. Peg box, crack button, pegged, otherwise good condition. Interesting figure there. Interesting purfling. Let's have a quick look at the scroll if we can get there. Yep. You can see there the cracks in the peg box, so that will need to be looked at. Let's move on. Then we are on another German violin, 1900. I don't think we need to look at that too much further. Interesting that they start off with the back as opposed to the front on their pictures. That's curious. Violin J. Didlot Artelier, Miracle. So we're just more French stuff. And another one. Coutureau Atelier, Miracle. I mean, if you're into French violins, and wow, like what a selection at auction for sure. I've never bought from here at all. So I can't really comment on anything, but I mean, there's so many pictures, so make your own mind up. Another Neumann Hornsteiner. Let's have a look. Another Miracle. Yeah, let's not get into that. 22. Then another one, Couture Atelier. 22. Breton School, Miracle 1870. Let's have a quick look at the front of this one. And have a look at the scroll. I think it's taken a bit of time to load this one. This looks a bit dirty. Needs a bit of attention, I think. Minor crack, lower rib near end pin, otherwise good condition. Another Colin Mazan. Interesting double purfling. I wonder what the scroll is like then on this one. Let's have a look. With the black paint around. Okay. Let's skip that one. Charles Bailey, Miracle. I mean, so many. Charles Bailey. Yeah, well, I think for me it's just pretty standard. Miracle 1920. That looks a bit more interesting. Style of Cousin. Yeah. Let's have a quick look at that. Quick look at the scroll. Let's see. Violin by F.R. Herklick, Bohemian, 1927. Kind of nice bird's eye kind of back. Good condition. The varnish retouched on the table. Slightly big back there. 361. That's a little bit over the norm. What's the starting bid? 500. Interesting. Let's quick look at the scroll. And just quick look here. Yep, some potential there. 28. Emile Blondelet Atelier for Lamy. Yep, I think we can skip that one. Another Calcin style. I mean, yeah, these must be coming in like a massive, either someone's collecting French violins somewhere here, or a massive container loads coming over. Wolf Brothers, potentially, probably circa 1900. Let's just have a quick look at the front there. It's quite wide grained at the top. Let's have a look. Oh, I think I've just skipped a few here, haven't I? And we've got another Mircourt here, another Colin Mazar. And let's have a look at this JB Collins School. Yep. Violin by L. Lalonde Bourget, 1886. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, be honest, I'm not finding particularly exciting, but then I am a heathen, I think, when it comes to violins a bit. I just like stuff which is really odd, which probably no one else really likes. So it's another Charles Bailey. We'll get too into that. Violin by Dominique Vloemens, London 1925. I have seen an instrument like this in person, or by this maker, but it was a lot darker varnish. I mean, this looks kind of pleasant enough. Interesting knot right there on the purple. Let's have a look at the scroll on this. That's interesting there on the back. Yeah, that's curious. What's the asking for this? Starting 1200, so yeah, sounds about right. Violin 1899, labelled Leon Poisson, 1899. Yeah, we'll get into that. Violin G. Grandini for Lamy, 1925. Yeah, more French ones there. Violin labelled Laber Humbert Frères, Mircourt, 2011. Okay, interesting. So that's quite a recent one, supposedly. That's curious. Yeah, quite a striking colour on the back. See the scroll. It's quite. This looks kind of quite polished. It's sanded, that scroll. Okay. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in this auction. Another Colin Mazar, 1912. I'm just not taking too much interest in those at the moment, I'm afraid. Violin Bohemian, labelled Joseph A. Cermak. Yeah. Not really super intrigued by this one. Interesting, the pictures are in a different order in this. Violin by A. Delivet, Paris, 1910. Yeah, once again, that's not too exciting. Violin by Hugh W. Cooper, Glasgow, 1900. Scottish violin. I like the Scottish ones. Scuffs, otherwise good condition. What's the asking price? 1300. Let's have a quick look if we can get the internet to work. Perhaps not. Let's see. We're in the no internet zone now. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, that is not working, so we'll have to leave that behind. Let's go in quickly again and see if we can get into that. Okay, here we go. We're back again. Dodgy internet time. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I quite like that. Quite like that back. Let's just scroll. It's a little bit square. 42. We're getting closer. Violin by René Jacquemin Mirecourt, 1959. Look at that. Violin Atelier of Charles Fatigue Mirecourt, 1938. Once again, let's skip that. A violin by C. Lancaster Cole, 1901. Some varnish loss, distortion of lower rib, and length of back 361. Let's have a look at this a bit closer. That's back. That's the front. Let's have a quick look at this scroll. Varnish coming off there. Let's have a look. So, Breton School Mirecourt, 1860. Double purfling on that. Let's quick look at the front. If the internet works, I think the pictures are quite heavy, kind of pixel wise, so it takes a little bit to load. Unfortunately, that is one of the problems. I think probably my internet connection, but also just when you have quite heavy pictures. But, I mean, that's interesting enough. Let's have a quick look at the scroll. I do like the kind of the picture view though. I think that's really good. Oh, I do like all the pictures in general actually. Gustave Bernardel School, 1890. Skip that. Violin by Georges Chapitel, Mirecourt, 1946. Let's have a quick look at the front. Good condition. Violin by Amédée Dudouin, Mirecourt, 1936. I mean, this really is a sea of French instruments. Mirecourt, circa 1920, labelled Lug Dunham. Okay. Let's see. Another Colin Mazar. So if you're after a Colin Mazar kind of Frenchy trade instrument, and there's a lot of them there. Violin by Paul Maginot, Mirecourt, 1935. I do apologise, I'm just going past all of these French violins, but you know, I'm not getting particularly thrilled by them. Violin by Joseph Ruzicka, Troppau, circa 1930. Good condition. Let's have a quick look at the scroll on this. It does look in pretty good condition there. Let's have a look at the front of the back and the top. Okay. That's the starting bid on that, 1900. Okay, so another Amédée Dudouin, Mirecourt, 1935. It's an interesting one-piece back. Violin, probably Honoré de Razy, 1840. Quick look at the front on that. Starting with 2/4, yeah, that's interesting. Violin labelled and probably by Dehames and Germain, Paris, 1887. Good condition, some retouch. Yeah. Violin by Julius Hubica, Prague, 1943. Good Bohemian violin. Somewhere to varnish. Let's have a quick look. Yep, quite nice colour varnish. See the scroll. Yep. Yeah. Interesting. That's curious. Yeah, that looks like quite an interesting instrument. Yeah, starting 2/6. Actually, not right in the middle of the war there, so that's quite interesting. Let's have another look here. Paul Planchard Atelier, 1893. Another labelled Lugdunum 1. Okay, not look at that too much. 59, Violin by Justin DeRazy. It's 1870. Viola. Oh, we've got a viola. Breton Atelier, Mirecourt. Good condition. Let's have a look. It's the only viola, I think, in the whole auction. So let's have a look. A bit more pictures. Just for reference. One piece back. Seems in quite good condition. Not overly exciting. Needs new pegs, so a bit of work for someone there. Oh, let's just skip back to that. I thought there was some damage there, so let's have a look. Yep, not especially exciting, I'm afraid. A cello, French or English? Well, that's pretty vague. An interesting cello, French or English, circa 1870. Some cracks in the ribs and table, including bass bar crack. No cracks in the back. Neck root repaired. Okay. Interesting back there. And signed. Well, it's got a lot of cracks. I mean, wow, look at that. I think you definitely want to see some kind of condition report or ask about that. That looks like it needs a lot of work for sure. Looks like it's kind of, yeah, it's definitely been through the wars a bit, that one. It's interesting. What's the starting 4.5? That's quite a lot, given that there's quite a lot of work to do. Let's have another look. Cello, early English, mid to 19th century. Table may be original with added varnish, possibly a little later, maybe by some maker. Minor post ribs. No cracks or woodworm back on front. Button repaired. As it's, I think there's only 2 cellos, so let's have a look. Let's see. Well, it looks to be maybe a bit better condition than the other one, but still interesting. I don't think that you can actually view any of these instruments. I'm not sure if I didn't really look properly to see if you can arrange appointments. Potentially you can, under normal circumstances, arrange appointments to view. If you can, then definitely worth looking a bit closer if you are able to view them, but it's probably not possible. We're on to Bose Violin, Bose silver mounted bow, early 20th century, 50 grams of no hair and very little silk thread lapping. Just quickly see if there's a picture of the head. So once again, like a lot of pictures here for the bows, so that's good. Possible bow, starting with 350. Cello bow stick by Bazin, 1930. Cello bow, the stick by Bazin, so frog from a different maker. Yep. Let's have a quick look. So a little bit crooked there. Okay. 65. Violin bow, Martin School, Atelier of Lamy & Co. Let's have a quick look at this. Starting with 1000. Yep. 66. Cello bow, English, early 20th century. Yeah. I like the kind of open frog. That's quite interesting. Yep, that's quite curious. Violin bow Lamy. Not much to see here. I'll just skip that, I think. Cello bow branded Adam, circa 1900. Let's see if we can get a few views at this. Yeah, looks like it just needs a bit of checking over. Let's see, we're getting towards the end now. Oh, just on that one. Skip that. All stuck. Bum bum bum. So, violin bow by Bazaar, 1900. I think it says. Apologies that it's so clunky to kind of go through this auction. It's by Lewis Bazaar. Starts with 1300 with a certificate of Pierre Guillaume. Interested in bows. Last two, violin bow by Lamy. So if we just quick look at the pictures. And the last one here, cello bow by Lamy. So let's just have a quick look. So, well, there you go. That was the February the 9th auction for Amber Violins. A few different things there. A lot of French instruments, if you're interested in that. Some kind of more tradey stuff, some more interesting things, some other odd things here and there. Yeah, like high starting price, but no reserves. Lots of pictures, really good amount of pictures. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, then I'm going to stick a link in the description of the video and you can check it out yourself, really. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. So my pick of the auction is going to be this violin by Hurst, Rugby, England, 1887. I just think that's quite, I just really like the figuring, I think, of this this back. I just quite like the outline. You know, it's fairly wide grain top, but I like the colour. There's something about this instrument that I do like. Just yeah, the figuring and just the proportions seem interesting to me. I'm probably the only one that thinks that, but yeah, I like it. It's an interesting instrument for sure. Just quickly look over. Yeah, I think for me, I think I will go with this this one. Nothing outrageous, but yeah, just something a little bit different. And we do know that I love the English instruments for sure. Excellent. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.